Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my pre-distant subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing Donald Trump versus Netanyahu. It is now officially here. We're now talking about it. I've been mentioning it occasionally here on the YouTube channel that eventually Netanyahu and Donald Trump will turn on each other the same way that I've said about Elon Musk and the same way that I said revolving around the vice president himself. Alright, so let's go ahead, let's get into this, and let's just start cooking. So this video is being recorded on Tuesday, July the 21st at 10:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was supposed to do a recording earlier, but turned out I would listen to my meditation. Then after my meditation ended, I passed out. Like, literally passed out. But, I'm recovering now. That's all that matters, is at least I'm doing a video. So Spruce Angel, time by Donald Trump versus Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. Okay, we have the Empress in reverse, so the environment is reversed. So somebody's not happy, I can tell you that. Somebody's not happy. Okay, so we have here on the bottom deck, we have the King of Wands. This is a conservative person. This is somebody who's in position to power. This is normally like somebody who is like a warmonger, somebody who has a lot of conservative values, even far right extremist views. This here on the top, but it's trying to come out the Nine of Pentacles reverse. There is vengeance here, and it has to do about money. Money. So I'm assuming this guy here, the King of Wands, is Netanyahu. I'm going to assume that is, because why would Donald Trump have some sort of issue revolving around money with Netanyahu? It doesn't make sense. But it would make sense the opposite way around, because remember, Israel has said many times that it relies itself on the United States' dependency in terms of finances. We also have here the half point is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is upright. This is interesting because it tells me here that there is some sort of hidden knowledge that they know that what they're doing isn't good. But they know the United States will back it. They know the United States will support it because whatever initiative, the country decides to take, the United States will back it because the United States had done it before. It has inspired other nations to do the same thing. So what I'm trying to emulate here is like what Germany did in 1930s. Hitler was inspired by the Americans, not the other way around. It took what America did, got inspired, and reformed it. And the United States is now starting to take on some of its inspiration from Germany. People always say for a very long time, oh, the United States will become like 19 Germany. That is true in its hindsight and ideological standpoint, but the United States is the thing that inspired other nations. Fascism was born here, not elsewhere. The top of deck here, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. There is going to be a sense of loss of power. Yeah, there's going to be a line of secession here. So somebody is receiving a line of secession, and it's a loss of power for an individual. Who is it? Yeah, this is the Three of Wands. This is almost just like a change in government, a change in policy, a change in maybe congressmen, maybe a change in parliament. I don't know what kind of system they have over in Israel, but whatever leaders it's referring to, whatever country it's referring to, whether it's the United States or Israel, both simultaneously, a leader is going to experience almost like a rebellion against the government by its people. And it costs a lot of political capital from these politicians. We have here on the left side here, we have the Empress in reverse. It means the environment in reverse. It means the environment is no longer favorable between Trump and Netanyahu. Not favorable. And it's interesting because you guys remember when we did a reading a couple of months ago, we said that Netanyahu was dead. I still believe that. Because why? Well, if you listen to my Angel of Death tarot card video, it explained that Donald Trump is dead because he's supernatural, being held up by almost like he's so dark in who he is as an individual that any dark entity, any dark spirit can walk through him and be able to do things because they have full access to a man with the most power in the entire world. And so for them, it's very beneficial for them to keep the vessel alive, even though the soul has disappeared from the actual vessel itself. It's given the appearance of many souls, many human possession with spirits. That's why they refer to Donald Trump as supernatural. If you want to watch that video, I'll put that link in the description in the comment section below. But I assume the same concept is being applied to Netanyahu. We're going to need to get confirmation on that, but that's what I'm assuming. Again, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. But considering what was being said about the files and the Epstein and all that situation, they engaged in a lot of dark magic, a lot of occult, so it wouldn't be too far off that they would both be engaged in this type of behavior. Now, in the middle of the deck here, we have the Five of Cups reversed. Interesting. The Five of Cups reversed, followed by the Victory card, which is in processing mode. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. We have the Six of Wands here, and it's headed in this motion here. Now, if you've been with me for a very long time, welcome. And if you haven't, well, welcome to the family. So here you have on the left side here, when a card is positioned this specific way, it means that it is in processing mode. When it is here, it means that the result is starting to really kick in, the manifestation, the thing that they try to initiate, the project, the goal, the policy, whatever it is, it gets enacted here. It doesn't happen like that. It gets enacted, which means this is the idea, this is the project, this is the results, and this is the consequence. Okay? Here, the fact that this is going in this direction right after the policy enactation, it now is starting to experience the result. The side effect of whoever wins is going to experience the consequence later on. Now, on the right side in the future, we have a Six of Pentacles reversed. There is somebody who feels like the other betrayed somebody, and somebody's gonna have to get more gifts, something to make up for it. Like, it almost feels like when you are in a relationship and you didn't tell your partner the full truth. And I'm just seeing in my life flicker, so that's confirmation. But like, it's like when you have a partner, you didn't tell your partner the full truth. It's not like you're cheating or anything like that. You're cheating on them because you want to go see a movie that you know they're not going to like, but you're not being openly honest. You don't want them to feel bad. So you lie to them, and you go to that thing, and you get caught. And this is the Six of Pentacles. It's saying here it's like they're like some sort of weird relationship. Like there's that dynamic. Like, yeah, it's almost like a love relationship, a little bit like a love-hate relationship. And it's followed by death, which means reform. So the relationship is going to be transformed through death. Maybe that could be a physical death, or that could be some sort of transformation. However, one of them is going to try to walk away from the other, but because I'm hearing in my right ear right now, I'm hearing they can't walk away because I'm hearing the word bound by blood, or also, quote unquote, I'm hearing the word blood brothers. Blood brothers. We're going to look that up. I don't know if that's legit or not, but that's what I'm hearing in my clarity ear. I'm going to trust my intuition on this and my guides. We also have here as well, you have the Five of Pentacles reverse. This means if I go down, you go down, we're not going down one or the other, it's both of us. Here you also have as well in the future, you do have the Eight of Cups walking away, and that falls on top of death. It falls on top of death, which means either both of them die simultaneously or coincidentally, or one of them dies and it ends the brotherhood and trouble begins. So, in a way, it almost feels like it's a blood contract that both of them owe each other, and they are bound by that contract as long as they are living. When they are dead and this, the physical vessel is no longer here, then it is not bound. But we're going to look up and see if the blood brothers are even a thing. I don't know. I never heard of it before. Is the blood brothers a thing? Okay, let's look it up. Oh, it is real. Okay. Let's read it. Let's see what it's about. Oh, yes. Blood brothers is definitely a thing. The term generally refers to two or more people who are not related by birth, but share an unbreakable bond of loyalty. Historically, this was often sealed with a ceremony where participants made a small cut to mingle their blood, symbolizing that they share the same life force. That would make sense why Donald Trump comes in as supernatural, and why, for anybody who reads Netanyahu, who also showed up as dead as well. That might be interesting. We'll touch base on it right after this. It says here, depending on what context you are thinking of it can also refer to several pop culture entities, music, Marvel comics, the theater, gaming, and lore. Let's see, is there any like occult thing practice for it? I don't know. Is there also something like this with black magic? Oh, okay, yeah, there is. Okay, so it says here there are several famous concepts tied to blood brothers, or similarly bond directly to black magic, dark occultism, and gothic horror. The Vampire Rite, The Vampire the Masquerade. The tabletop RGB Vampire the Masquerade, the Blood Brothers are a horrific artificially engineered bloodline. They were created through a mix of fleshcrafting and Tamir blood magic. So that's basically like I don't know, like genetic mutation. I don't know. That sounds weird. Okay, the Black Brothers. Okay, esoteric occultism. In real world Western astrology, oh no, I mean, excuse me. In real world Western occultism, especially the system of Dharma developed by Atia Crowley, there's a dark concept known as Black Brothers. Rather than a standard blood pact, this refers to an advanced practitioner of magic who reaches a spiritual threshold known as the abyss. Instead of shedding their ego for the greater good, a Black Brother chooses to isolate their ego, hoarding magical power selfishly to become a god of their own closed universe, with occultists viewed as the ultimate form of black magic. The Blood Sorcery Pact, Wicca, and folk magic. In modern folk magic and certain esoteric circles, making a literal blood brother pact, cutting hands and exchanging blood, is considered a form of blood magic. Because blood is viewed as a physical manifestation of a soul's life force, occultists consider these pacts incredibly dangerous. It is believed to create a permanent karmic and spiritual tie between two people that cannot easily be undone by regular means, effectively linking their spiritual fates together. Okay, that makes a lot of sense because when we were doing the reading, it didn't say like with one goes, the other can't go. Like it literally like they're tied to one another. Well, why would they do that? This got weird. That's all I'm gonna say. This got weird. Alright, so let's just see. This is not what I was thinking. I thought this video was like gonna be like 25 minutes long. I don't know. We'll find out, but this video is gonna be longer than I thought. That's all I can tell you. Alright, so Spirit Angels tell me, is Netanyahu the Prime Minister of Israel? Is he human? Is he supernatural? Is he dead but not dead? The bottom deck here, we have the Three of Wands overlooking something, overlooking his life path. Is followed by the Five of Cups. So he did die multiple times. It almost feels like he's just an empty vessel, and that's what this is. The Three of Wands here is death by 3, which is the Three of Cups. Here, death by 3. So there is some mysterious linkage. So somebody else is linked to the brother pack. It isn't just two people. It isn't just Trump and him. It's somebody else is also linked. And that makes a lot of sense too now why Vladimir Putin said, oh, beware of the vampire ball. Very strange. Oh my god, these people are weird. Alright, so we have here with the Queen of Wands reverse. And the Queen of Wands reverse is interested in a lot of spirituality. Now, this is somebody who's good spiritually. This is negative spirituality when it's reversed. It's the Queen of Wands reverse. And the next card that falls right after it is the Wheel of Fortune. I think we're going to find out what they were doing. Because you have here the dark energy here, which is followed by the Queen of Wands reversed. And in the Wheel of Fortune, reverse means going forward. Going forward in the future, you're going to start to see more and more signs and evidence that they are linked in a cult. Like they're linked through black magic. Like that's what it feels like. And when I asked him regard about like Netanyahu, oh my god, I think everybody's going to be shocked. Because you have here the first card that comes in is the Sun card reversed. This is immediately lacking innocence. There is no innocence here. I don't even think he was born with innocence. And I know that's crazy to sound. I know that's crazy to say. But it almost feels like his death is telling me that there was no innocence to begin with. Like there's no innocence. It is followed by the Empress card in reverse. And it's his body. It's his physical body. Oh my god. I don't think he was actually born. It feels weird. It almost feels like whoever is inside either Netanyahu's body or whoever is, you know, how he was created, it almost feels like he wasn't like human. I know that's weird. Like, it almost feels like he's not. I don't even know how to describe it. It almost feels like artificial. I wonder if he was like a test baby. I wonder if he was like a test baby, but like, it doesn't seem like he was born through a woman. And my guys are like telling me right now, my right ear, like, Chris, do this. Tell them you're channeling, you're psychic channeling. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it in a separate video. They're like, do it, do it, do it. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. All right, so this was dated on July the 19th, 2026 at 9:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's two channeling in this one notepad. So just sit back, relax, and listen to this. So, oh my god, it turns out you guys can't even hear me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm starting to feel like you guys actually can't hear me. I'm sorry. Okay, hopefully the video is not lost. But this is all screwed up. Well, you can see I really took a good nap. Alright, so it says here, the fall of Judaism, Christianity, and Islamic religion will befell to the new gods. For that the old shall arrive as new. For that men, the men of seas, shall witness the graft of God. The many gods and goddesses, for that a new arrival will be crowned the new king. For that God is false. The men of siblings will rise to challenge the classed king. Then, just as he rose and defeated his brothers and sisters, he will befell to the news that they never died. As he did to them, so it will be to him. Don't worship us. Recognize us. We are everywhere. We never left. Don't sacrifice. Don't worship us. Acknowledge us. The men of humanity shall rise to meet the humanitarian belief in humanity. One that once graced the odds of Greece. It shall rise again, and as so does Athens. May Atlantis be formed yet rise as it did before, but with the belief and knowing it wasn't stuck in the past but present in the future. The worthiness of man can unlock the treasure its corrupted ancestors were once denied. For that, time repeats as the past has become the future, and the future has become the past. Welcome. The end of channeling on July the 19th, 2026 at 9:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here's my second channel, and this kind of explains more in detail a bit more about Netanyahu and why it almost feels like he's not like, I almost feel like he wasn't real. Like, I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel like he was born naturally, like he was born artificially some way. I don't know how to explain it otherwise than that. It could also be a spirit inside of him that's so strong that it doesn't even belong within our universe. It says here, begin channel on July 19, 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No man, no woman walks this earth without a copy, without a doppelganger. For that I made it so that when a time of need is called, you have a safe haven to hide. From the well wishes of BS of men, for that even the corrupted Eve cannot falsify the seed. The chosen one, the sacred one, isn't pre-chosen, is instead pre-designed. For one without a copy, without a correlation, without an opposite appointment, will indeed disappoint. For that the false one, the one claimed, who, to be chosen by God, will not have a copy. For that he is denied of such belief, for that I did not make him. For that only a woman shall birth the kindness of man, with a given fair choice of will. When man bypasses my natural order, the mechanism denies the right of these individuals. For that no man, woman nor child be blessed by the universe, for that they are unharmonious to the natural cause, the human condition, in which I created yet dictate. The chosen one, the false, would not have been born of natural but of unnatural circumstances, for that the technology which you produce, your humanity, is to replace me, but you cannot. The mark is only given by me, for that each is blessed. When artificially introduced through the technology that complexity bypasses the complexity of the human design, the animalistic design, destroys the very infrastructure designed to protect it. The soul is corrupted before it's even born. Innocence can only come from those within my creation, within my touch. You cannot supersede nature. Nature, I always win. You will be denied the will, the structure to be seen as legitimate, if you betray the very art of my hand. The end of channeling at 10:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's very rather interesting. And when they talk about gods, they almost feel like the gods are like humans. That's what it feels like. Let me read it back to you as human. I guarantee you it will all make sense now. No man, no woman walked this earth without a copy, without a doppelganger, for that I made it so that when a time of need is called, you have a safe haven to hide. From the well wishes of bullshit of men, for that even a corrupted Eve cannot falsify the seed. The chosen one, the sacred one, isn't pre-chosen, it's instead pre-designed. For one without a copy, without a correlation, without an opposite appointment, will indeed disappoint. For that, the false one, the one claimed to be chosen by the humans, will not have a copy. For that he is denied a such belief, for that I did not make him, for that only a woman shall birth the kindness of man, with a given fair choice of will. When man bypasses my natural order, the mechanism denies the right of these individuals. For that no man, woman, nor child be blessed by the universe, for that they are unharmonious to the natural cause, the human condition in which I created yet dictate. The chosen one, the false, will not have been born of natural but of unnatural circumstances. But that the technology which you produce, your humanity, is to replace me, but you cannot. The mark is only given by me, but that each is blessed. When artificially introduced through the technology, that complexity bypasses the complexity of the human design, the animalistic design, destroys the very infrastructure designed to protect it. The soul is corrupted before it's even born. Innocence can only come from those within my creation, within my touch. You cannot supersede nature. Nature, I always win. You will be denied the will, the structure to be seen as legitimate, if you betray the very art of my hand. Very, very interesting. I think the part that really stands out for me, especially when it comes to Netanyahu and specifically, it's like when they talk about this specific moment here. Where is it? Okay, so here it is. So it says here, when man bypasses my natural order, the mechanism denies the right of these individuals. For that no man, woman, nor child be blessed by the universe, for that they are unharmonious to the natural cause, the human condition in which I created yet dictate. So if that means that women and men who are already fully developed, who have already been through the natural birth, can also still be considered in the eyes of whoever is telling me this information as unharmonious to the human cause, unharmonious to the natural mechanism, which means that they are not protected by the universe. They are not protected by the good forces. That makes a lot more sense now. So now we go back into Netanyahu and why this is very important and why it's significant, which I actually cannot tell you right off the back, and my guy just told me to do it. So we're going to try to figure this out as we go. Because we have the Emperor's card, which means the body in reverse, the vessel, right? The lack of innocence in the body, in the vessel, followed by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9 of Cups, which means the ignorant, the ego. So what we have here so far is ruled by lack of innocence, ruled by evil, compromised by the body, and guided by the ego. Here in the future, though, you have for his physical body, he's a manifester. He participates in the dark arts. He participates in the magician. He's a massive manifester. And now a lot of things that a lot of people don't realize is that manifestation doesn't just pertain to good people. It can pertain to bad people. It depends on what you decide to put your focus on. And the fact that he had nothing holding him back, no trauma, no injury. The magician card means that he has full reign. He has full power, full control over his manifestation. What he desires, he brings forth. However, there is consequences for that. Because what is he manifesting? He's manifesting the 5 of Wands. He wants war. He thrives in chaos. He thrives when people are fighting. That's what feeds him. That's what fuels him. That's what keeps him alive. The division keeps his ego alive. The division keeps his vessel alive. And it's followed by the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is normally my card that tells me a lot of my clients that, what's it called? Like, this is like a natural birth. It's also telling you when, like, they're pregnant or they're about to have a kid or something new is coming in their life. This is reverse. This is the pregnancy card in reverse. I don't think he was born from a woman. I feel strongly in that. It almost feels artificial, like it doesn't feel real. And that's like bizarre because what, this guy's like born in like what, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. I'm sure they had no technology related to that. But it's very bizarre. Very bizarre. What's the best way to ask this question, Spirit? I don't think I would ever prepare for this. I would not prepare for that even response, even answer at all. What would be a best way to describe whether or not somebody's actually born from an actual woman? I don't think I ever have a deck for that. You know what? Let's do this. Let's see. Angel answer. Do you know what? We need a legit, straightforward answer. This might be the best one to pick. Alright. Let's get further confirmation on this. Spirits and angels, tell me. I want you to come through the cards for me, please. And tell me, is Netanyahu born through a female? Is Netanyahu born through a woman? Okay, we have 3 cards here, interesting. So these 2 cards are in the past here. We have not the right time reversed, so this is the right time to ask the question. Followed by, ask for help from others. It's saying that I have the answer within. Big happy changes. That makes no sense. Why would it be happy about that? Why? Why would it be happy about that? Hold on. Let me ask. I'm gonna do clairaudiently. Okay, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. Can you tell me, is Netanyahu the Prime Minister of Israel? And the cards have been saying repetitively that he was not born of natural circumstances, but of unnatural circumstances, more so related to artificial means, like his body is an empty vessel. Can you verify, give me any sort of information on that? Okay, so then what is it? Okay, so what I'm hearing from my clairaudient ear, from my guide, is that when I told them what I found and what I discovered, they go, not quite, not exactly. They're saying that he was born through a female, but that when he was born with the mark of the beast. That's what they said. He was born with the mark of the beast. Now, what is the mark of the beast? Oh, wait, they're saying that he was marked with a dark entity who graced his presence, and I'm seeing like a large claw, like a black claw like this, and it just take their nail and go like this, and that's the mark. I don't have it because like even if I'm scratching myself, I don't see it. There's nothing there. But for him, he has the mark. He has a mark somewhere. Oh, found his butt. I don't think we're ever gonna see proof of that. So, um, he's like, they're like saying, they're laughing right now. They're like, oh, you'll be surprised. I mean, I don't think I want to be surprised. I don't think the last thing everyone wants to think is see Netanyahu's booty. Okay. Anything else that you want to ask, Spirit? Okay, we talked about what? We talked about the relationship and the dynamic between Donald Trump and Netanyahu. We talked about the blood brother pact. We talked about Netanyahu being artificial, being weird, like he's like empty vessel. Oh, oh my God, I forgot. We didn't talk about whether or not, no, that he's like kind of like similar to Donald Trump in terms of like, being supernatural. I would assume so because he had the mark of the beast, so I'm assuming it is, but let's just get confirmation. So Spirit Angels tell me, is Netanyahu the mark of the beast? Well, that's not the right answer. Why did I even ask that? I guess that came through out of the blue. Alright, so we'll just leave with that and then we'll just ask one more question. I'm sorry, guys. So this is the 8 of Pentacles. I'm seeing like he was a very hard worker when he was young. Like it almost feels like even with this mark of the beast, he was still doing activities. He was still doing hobbies. It almost feels like despite the mark, it didn't activate. It almost feels like he was just a good person. Like it didn't it didn't get activated. It's just like he just had a childhood. I don't see anything wrong here. And it's followed by the 3 pentacles. As he got older, as he became a teenager, he started becoming a bully. Followed by the 7 of swords here. He had a very keen taste for stealing. Whether it's stealing lives, whether it's, stealing money. He loved the thrill that it gave him as he got older. So this is around like him being like around between like 25, 24. I'm here in the word like maybe 23 to like at least 34. So that's within our age range. So he was pretty much mature at that point. And by this point here, we have his unlimited power being wielded by the 9 of Wands reverse. On the bottom deck here, we have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. So this is like the marking of the beast. It almost like tells us a little bit more information in the future. That like essentially he was a person who just went about his daily day, but as he got older, it started to activate. So it's like it takes time. Here you have it, the 4 of Swords, right after the Ace of Pentacles reverse, which means he's about to lose something. His purpose here, this mark, is to leave a stain. He's going to do something that's so drastic that even decades and centuries from now, people will still mention who he is. So whatever he's doing is bad. The top of the deck here, we have the 9 of Pentacles reverse, followed by lack of money, lack of luck. But lack of resources, and he somehow still hold on. He still pushes ahead. It's the 6 of Wands upright. It's also followed by 4 of Wands here. I almost feel like he has 4 terms total. I don't know how many terms he's on now, but I almost feel like 4 terms total. And then it's followed by the 7 of Wands reverse. It's saying here that after 4 terms, he just basically stops resisting and he starts almost like his black magic, his what you call it, Mark of the Beast. This power wanes. It almost feels like this is what it feels like essentially. He gets the Mark of the Beast when he's young, right? He gets older. He lived out his childhood completely normal. Then he gets bullied. It triggers him. It changes a transformation. Then with that transformation, he ended up by 24 to 34 years old. And becomes somebody who's very getting high thrill off the idea of stealing from people, whether it's life, whether it's money, whether it's resources, whether it's identity, whatever it is, he gets a lot of high off of that. And then the final card here, which is the 9 of Wands reverse, indicates that he has unlimited wielding power as, whatever field he went into, which obviously we all know is a politician, which is why we're talking about him in today's video. But the bottom of the deck was the 8 of Pentacles reverse, followed by the 4 of Swords, which means that eventually, as he gets older, his power starts to wane. And when it wanes, the power, the Mark of the Beast, I'm seeing like in my third eye here, the mark disappears and it becomes translucent, like it disappears forever. And that also means his power weakens too. And I'm seeing it light up. It lights up like red, it glows. It like lights up and it glows. Then as it starts to weaken, it kind of like blinks and just kind of like disappears altogether. Like it doesn't exist anymore. Like it's as if it was never there. It's as if like the Mark of the Beast was designed for him. It was like he was the dark chosen one and he was forced to do some of this thing. Like he was pre-designed, but artificially. Okay. That makes a lot more sense though. But interesting. But it's also kind of creepy. It's weird. Yeah, it's a lot of things. I don't really know how I feel about this. And the last final thing here is... Oh, here's the Tower card in reverse. Okay, so Spiritual Angel, tell me. Is Netanyahu supernatural just like Donald Trump? Is Netanyahu supernatural just like Donald Trump? The Angel of Death, if you can come in and kind of explain the situation just like you did with Donald Trump, that would be great. But it's okay if you can't, I understand. Okay, the first card is we have the 6 of Wands here, followed by the 7 of Swords, with the High Priestess and the High Priestess upright. It's the contract. Here the top of the deck is the 4 of Wands and the World card. He leads the end of the chapter. That's what he is. So essentially what Netanyahu is, he is the symbolism, the epitome of the end of a chapter for the world. Not say it's the end of the world, no. It's the end of a chapter in which he plays a role in the closing out of a time period. I don't know what kind of time period we're in, but according to the universe, he is meant to close out an era. Because here we have the Six of Wands, followed by the Seven of Swords, and we're asking about whether or not he's supernatural, just like Donald Trump. And here we have this is a yes. This is yes in a way that his body's being stolen as a vessel for spirit. So it almost feels like with this mark of the beast, essentially there is a epitome where dark entities and dark spirits do flow through him very relatively. And normally when dark spirits are in somebody's body, it comes across as dead, cold, morgue, stuff like that. It's also followed by the next card here, which is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is kind of like, I'm hearing the word solitude. Like sitting in solitude and understanding your power, understanding your worth, understanding your policy, your stances, your mechanism. On the off side here, we have the Four of Wands, followed by the World's card. The Four of Wands and the World's card. His job and his life purpose in this lifetime is to create an end of a chapter through his power, through his resources, through who he is as an individual. He's supposed to lead the end of a dark chapter by creating the darkest moment. It forces the light to come through eventually. So that's what his job is. You see here, you'll probably ask like, Chris, what is this doing? Why is this important? Why is he the one doing it? Because you see here, there's no openings anywhere around the greenery. That's because this is a complete closed chapter. It's ending, and it's around the world. He's supposed to create a dark chapter, not only just within his nation, but around the world. And you're asking, like, why is that possible? Why is it doing it around the world? Why can't it just be localized? Well, because the country affects everything. His hands are in everything. If you think the United States is bad with his hands in everybody's pockets, look at that country. I guarantee you it's even worse. But the World's card here in the Four of Wands here means that he's meant to usher in a new era by ending it simultaneously by being the darkest individual in the world. So, this is interesting. Anyway, I think we're going to have to do a follow-up because this is a little bit bizarre, like very weird. I'm already planning for this Halloween special movie, a special episode where we talk about vampires in, the world, I guess. It was supposed to be fictional. It was not supposed to be real, but according to what I'm getting tonight and what Vladimir Putin said, I'm going to assume it may not be as fictional as I thought. Anyway, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, peace out. I love you, and bye, guys.